I'd now like to invite to close today's inaugural conference. Would you please welcome the CEO of Huntington's Australia, Lenni Duffield, to share some final thoughts and reflections on hope today.
I nominated myself to do the graveyard shift, which is this one, the very last one, to keep you entertained and engaged today, as we all know that we want to probably put our sneakers on and we want to go out there and either continue to network or engage in a well-deserved after 4 p.m. drink. So thank you very much for allowing me to wrap up today. I want to first just acknowledge the Kaurna people and the lands in which we meet today, their custodianship over maintaining family, connection, community and life. It is a privilege to be here today on the land that they partake and care for. I also want to acknowledge everyone in the room. You're amazing. It's fantastic. This is our inaugural conference. It's wonderful that you can join us in person, from allied health to our people living with Huntington's disease, for those caring for them, and those that are just here that want to make a difference. I think that is absolutely amazing. To our community online who have persevered with us and probably done loads of washing and picked kids up from school and done all the other things, or probably worked from home, thank you. I know it's been an incredibly long day and we are really, really pleased that you have joined us today. I think we will all acknowledge it has been a big full day, but it has been an amazing full day. We've heard some amazing speakers, amazing contributors, and I think it's, a testament of people who want to give and share of their knowledge and their time. So thank you very much for turning up today. Like I said, the graveyard shift. I want to finish with something pretty simple, which is not unlike me for most people who know me, but I do want to finish with something pretty simple, but vitally important. I want to talk about hope. And behind every diagnosis of Huntington's disease is a person. That's pretty simple. We're all people. And a family. It takes a family to make a person. And a future that may look different than expected. But it is still a future. And it is still full of meaning and connection and possibility. Huntington's disease changes lives, no doubt, but it doesn't define what is still possible. At Huntington's Australia, I'm really pleased to say we see this every day. We see Clements half glass and filling it, and I think it was Clements or someone else's. I'm sorry, I've seen a lot today. I have jogged between rooms. We see the possible every day. We see the resilience in uncertainty. We see the strength in community, and we see the quiet power of people continuing to show up each day and every day for themselves and for each other. Today, I want to talk about hope. Mind if I don't get the clicker right. So hope, to me, is not just a vague idea, but it's something absolutely practical. And I like practicality because I grew up on a farm and I am a farm girl in the country, so practical is my jam. That's where I sit. Hope is something we build. That's really practical. We can build things. And hope is something that we can choose. Hope to me is health, optimism, possibilities, and empowerment, and how together we can reimagine tomorrow for Australians impacted by Huntington's disease. So when I talk about health, We have to think beyond clinical care. Well, we've heard amazing things, and that's absolutely vitally important, but health is just not about appointments, treatments, or diagnosis. It's about the whole person, their mental well-being, their sense of connection, their dignity. That is about the whole person. For people living with Huntington's disease, accessing the right support at the right time can be really complex. It's a hard system to navigate, especially across different regions, different systems, different health structures, outside of health structures, outside of different government departments. You would all know today it is highly complex. So our role isn't just to provide services, it is to help navigate, to connect, to ensure no one is left trying to piece things together alone. Because real health actually isn't about living longer, it's just about living well. Sorry as I navigate. So, living well. To live well, we have to have optimism. You've got to always look at things differently. But optimism can be incredibly difficult in this space. It can be an incredibly difficult word to conjure up and say. But there is optimism. We are not here to ignore the realities of Huntington's disease, but we are here to ensure that those realities do not erase what is still possible. And that is optimism. Optimism lives in everyday moments. They can be incredibly small. You can blink and you can miss them, but they're still there. It lives in finding family support and in having family finding support. They're both two different things. In a conversation that brings understanding. In a small step forward that makes tomorrow feel just a little bit more manageable. My favourite saying, and I have quite a few of them at Huntington's, my staff do know that and other people too, but I often talk about doing 100 small things deliberately with intent. You know, that is optimism. Getting out of bed in the morning, putting socks on, that's great, fantastic. You know, being able to get out of the door and I still have time, that's great. Being able to have a coffee, fantastic. There's optimisms in little things. Don't discount the 100 small things, and I ask you to do them deliberately and with intent. There's something really magical and wonderful about having the first sip of coffee. There really, really is. It's a bit like having, for some people who partake in an alcoholic beverage, a really hot day and cracking the top off a beer, and that first sip, oh my God, that just bubbles optimism. It is also because optimism and those small things done consistently builds trust, it builds confidence, and it builds hope. And optimism isn't about pretending that things are easy. It fundamentally is about believing they can still be meaningful. So please, 100 small things deliberately and with intent, because they are meaningful. Which brings me to the letter P in hope, which is all about possibilities. If we only focus on what is known today, we very much limit what tomorrow can be and what tomorrow can become. Possibilities are expanding. We've heard it today through research, through innovation, through collaboration. It's an exciting space to be in. 10 years ago, there wasn't this hum, there wasn't this bubbling. There's a real possibility, and we're a lot further forward today than what we were 10 years ago. We are seeing advances in understanding Huntington's disease. We're seeing new approaches to care. And we're also looking at opportunities to rethink about how support is delivered, especially for people in regional and remote and underserved communities. And Mel's was a testament to that, and I'm really pleased in the work that we're doing in that space. But possibilities don't just come from science. They come from people working together. They come from those people sharing knowledge, challenging assumptions, and asking, is there something we can do differently? Or what if we did this differently? Our job, our fundamental job, is to create the conditions where those possibilities can grow. It leads me to E in hope. At the centre of everything, at the centre of hope is empowerment. This means ensuring that people impacted by Huntington's are not just supported, but they are heard, not just cared for, but involved in decisions about their own lives. Empowerment is about voice, choice, and agency. It's about families and carers feeling confident and informed and supported. It is about individuals being able to say, this is what matters to me, and having that respected and heard. And it's about advocacy, and my God, have we been doing a lot of advocacy, and I thank Anne Ruston, I know she's not here, but we've been working tirelessly in this space. We've been working to shape systems so they better reflect the needs of people they serve, and there's still more work to do in that space. Because to me, and more broadly, the most meaningful change happens when people are not just part of the conversation, but they lead it. And that's what we need in this space. So when I think about hope, it's just not an idea to me. You know, hope is health, optimism, empowerment. It's not four separate ideas. It is fundamentally a way of working. You know, hope is something we can work towards, something we can build, something we can do today, and something we can reimagine tomorrow. It is about being intentional in the small things we say every day. 100 small things with purpose and intent. Remember that, you will when you walk out of here. It is absolutely about being passionate about the impact we have and the impact we want to have. And it's staying aligned so that together we can move forward with purpose. And look, I'm not delusional, but reimagining tomorrow doesn't happen all at once. It does take a village and it does take time. It happens in conversations that we have, the support that we offer, the systems that we challenge, and the care that we show again and again and again. It is built through 100 small, deliberate actions, and I probably can't say that enough. And when those actions come together, they create something powerful. That is hope, health, optimism, possibilities and empowerment. It creates better health, stronger optimism, expanded possibilities, and real empowerment. And to me, I think that's a future we can all build together. So thank you for your attendance today. Thank you for listening to me and turning up. And I hope that you do, walk away with one takeaway today of something you can do today and something that you can build on tomorrow with intent and with a deliberate intent. And don't underestimate those 100 small things. Thank you. I am just going to take over the mic for a second because that's what I do. This is all not possible, both online and in person, without an amazing team. And I'm lucky and very fortunate to be having an amazing team that make me look good every day, but particularly around this conference, the two driving forces to this conference have been Ali, who was mentioned before, so I'd like Ali to come up to the stage, and Kathy. So I need them here. If they're not here, we will wait for them. Ali is our Head of Business Development, Fundraising and Partnerships. She leads up a very small FTE team that does all of our activities, engagements, business partnerships, activities, this conference, and she does a hell of a lot of work with very limited resource, so it is absolutely amazing. And Kathy is our Hermione from Hogwarts. She's the constant traveller with 6 suitcases, and she makes anything happen and appear and then fixes things, and she's absolutely amazing. And I'm really sorry they can't hear me praise them. Here's the Kathy, the amazing Kathy. Please come up to the front, Kathy. And here is Ali. Please come up to the front, Ali. So Kathy and Ali, you missed my praise on you, but I will allow it in networking that other people will probably share that. But thank you so much for your dedication, tireless hours and work in making this come together. You need to come up. Chris just has a little token to say thank you. And it'd be great to get a photograph too from one of my other staff, if they can do that. That'd be great. So if you can thank them, I will hand back to the MC now. So I look forward, if you haven't had the chance to meet me or ask questions or have a conversation, I will be hanging around at the networking. So please come up. Don't be afraid to say hi and hello. I'm really good. I'm bang up for a good chat. So thank you very much.